Hey people, I just posted that last movie and watched it, and I learned some things. I missed some things. And then I went to look at ratings. I learned something else. People like the idea that angels could be women, and that's why you look at all the pictures of angels and they look very feminine. And they like to think that a woman would be naked on a beach and a man would write about it. And that sex sells. It got more views and not as many likes. So people didn't like the idea that the guys who's writing this could talk about women like that. And so after watching the movie, after I posted it, I caught something here. On the first day in Genesis 1, I told you it looked like a baby growing up in the words he was learning. And then, this is the last day. And then this is a new chapter, the creation of man. This explains more about what the title of the book means. To make all what column lectures, to make all, the one who is like God, the make all, what column from lectures, and then a long R, two A's, R, like the pirates, not happy about it, are in the rami, the branches of the tree. Lost what? And it's lectures about the branches of the losing branches of the tree. And it's right here in this word. It's written like Latin. It's written like your name on a government form, The Tor is your last name. The Torah in cut of. So you would read your first name here first. You would read it in cut in, love in nature. And so nature has a bunch of different meanings the way it's spelled, it's the N-E-S. But it's telling me that he's sitting down and he's writing in the cut in love and nature. And the nay is, the ash, the gods, to love when the gods it tore. So it's talking about the heavens and the rotation of the ash. But ash is also the trees in nature. In the trees, the law. In the trees in the forest. So it's like the preface on the front of the book, And, at first he's talking about the sun and moon. He's giving thanks to everything that he learned from everybody he learned from, And he learned from the sun and moon. And then he learned from the stars in the heavens. And then he learned the solicitor from the earth. And then on the fourth day, thanks to my first vehicle, my first voyager, and thanks to the birds and fish, that taught me the chemisitware. And then what he learned from the serpents, the heseter. And so how they got this, from all the work which had created God and accomplished, is to make all what called from the lectures are in Ramiel, in the branches of the tree, lost what? So you see it in all this old creation art. They go out of the way to let you know somebody is down lecturing you, and it's about a tree that's lost its branches. Where's the branches of my trees going? I let y'all come out here and eat my fruit, but y'all are killing my trees. And he's giving the hand sign here. All right, this is the second time I'm telling you now. This is second chance. Don't be cutting the limbs off my tree. I'm gonna kick you out my garden. They got many lectures. Before they got their coat, with Michael still looking way more feminine than Eve. And them is it heads the parade is of. Does it pose of with the sheriff? sheriff. Custody give the flaming O'Glady. You know, the flaming gladiator with all the eyes. And Glady had 'em. Them as it had 'em, the parade is of. This it pose with sheriff, the custody. Taking a picture with the sheriff. It pose with sheriff. Custody give the flaming Glady had 'em. Glady had 'em. And so where they get this Jesus meaning the things you're allowed is right here, and it's who break mile. Who break mile as too much to mooey us. Yes, YESES. Yeses enjoy. Yeah, and so to break mile is when you're marching. You know, when you break mile, you're going to let's break mile here. And as too much of us, to many of us that are doing the marching, yeses, final I, J, YESES. That's where your Jesus come from. And it's yeses are things you're allowed, depending on if you're asking a question. Hey, can I go to the movies tonight? Yeses is things that are allowed. The yeses enjoy, and you're liking it. Yeah. And who fed it shoot a key give? You know, who fed, there's a dot in the D, and it, feed is what's coming from the east, but it's, there's D's also the TH, so it's who fed it, FDTH, and who fed it, SH, the shoot. Who fed it shoot here, and it's talking about taking bearings on the stars and planets. Who fed it shoot here to give us Sabbath. And so the ones that are marching, they're getting a Sabbath, they're getting a rest. But the ones that are gone to work now are the ones who fed it shoot here to give, to sieve it, and then two T's, the time. And their name was the Sevatomicals. And so the word for rest, Sabbath, that means the Sabbath, that means the heads are working. So when the brains are working, that's when the ones that don't understand, Sabbath, they rested. And that's where this word Sabbath comes from. You're not going to be able to understand this. Just go ahead and sit down over there. Take you a break. The Sevatomicals would call from the lectures. Would call from lectures. And so lectures used to mean the action of reading. They were reading the stars. Would call from lectures are in Ramiel, are in the branches of the tree, the lost what? Or the first knowledge from the yell, first knowledge from the word. All is what tours the nature. And so he's a soldier of the all is what tours. The Savatomical, all is what tours. All is waters, all is motion, all is frequency. And so this is old Michael Make-All here, And hey, let's take a break here and let me lecture y'all about the branches of the trees lost. And so, the old scout language, it was done with, the branches, the Ramiel lose what? That's where this old runic language come from. Everything was straight lines. It was just broken branches. And it started out just by signs that trackers would use when you're tracking an animal, and you tell which way it went by which way the grass is laid, which way the broken twigs are. And it's evolved into the old hobo language, the meaning of symbols. And I got a couple of movies back called Hobo Language. Got a couple good links to learn these symbols on. And so this part over here that's called the work, usually it's always os, anything os or mos is the work or which has done. And it's because they have this and they say means work here. They change this to has done. But it comes from the word, the Savat time political. The political. And it comes from the word analytical. Analytical relating to or using analysis or logical, from logistic positioning. And so some people, can't understand it, and so Savat means to take a rest, your rest day, because, you accepted labor. And then the Savats, they have an opposite time to work. Oh, we're going to work on Savat day, on the day of the heads, the big old head, the Savats. From the analytical lectures, the analytical reading are in the branches, the tree lost what. So this whole story of creation is actually a story about biology, of evolution, and how you can read it in the branches that lost what. And they look in the molecular DNA and see how it branches. The branches and clades of the molecular DNA shows when we lost our tail. So this book is written for those, who envive much us. This is biomeclitical from lectures whose. So it sounds like it's written by the smartest kid in the class, and the teacher is having to slow down for everybody else, and he's just playing, making fun with the words. So I'm glad I went back to do this, because I go back and look at this last movie I just posted, and it's got the best like ratio, 9 of 22. So everybody was interested in this. And I'm not worried about trying to get 100% of my views liking, because I know if I look at a movie on my phone, I can't even figure out how to find the like button sometime. So my next movie will be back in Revelations 12, finish at 5 and 6. And then I'll go back and hit that row your boat. And then I'll try to get back to that Revelations 8 where I had cut off, where I thought we should read this other stuff first. And if you missed that last movie, it's a good one and it makes more sense of this. And I'll leave this link at the end.
Don't forget. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.